friends, hello viewers. Welcome to my YouTube channel Art BOK Zone. I want to thank the returning viewers and also the new viewers as well. I want to thank you for your support. It's not been easy. Without you, I am nobody. So today I'm going to be making a multiple choice question on Jamb likely questions in biology. So straight to the point, let's get to the board, okay? The first question says, the type of nutrition in which two organisms of different species live together and derive nutrients from each other is. So the question is this. We're going to analyze the question and also the options. It said the type of nutrition, okay, in which two organisms, okay, of different species live together and derive nutrients from each other. Now we know that even plants and animals have types of relationship. Now this is talking about relationship, how they relate. You know, even in our day-to-day activities, okay, we have different kinds of relationship. Okay, so the type of nutrition in which two organisms of different species, I can also say, for instance, in let me look for an example that is common amongst us. Okay, for instance, where you have a Muslim and a Christian, okay, occupying a particular niche or occupying a particular environment. Okay, now there are two different kinds of people, right? But yet they have a common relationship. Okay, now the question says the type of nutrition in which two organisms of different species live together, that's they live together and derive nutrients from each other, is A, holozoic nutrition, B, saprophytic nutrition, C, symbiotic nutrition, D, holophytic nutrition. What kind of nutrition is this? A, holozoic. When you hear the word holozoic, it's talking about what? Animal kinds of what? Nutrition. Now if you check to where there's a word here, zoic, it's talking about zoo. Okay, it's talking about zoo. That's the word animal, animal-like. Okay, so otherwise it is called what? Heterotrophic nutrition, or what? Holozoic what? Nutrition. Okay, so you can either call it what? Heterotrophic, or what? Holozoic what? Nutrition. Now B talks about what? Saprophytic. It's talking about decomposers. These are organisms that decompose. That's a breakdown, okay, a substance to obtain what? The nutrients. So they have to break down. So they are called what? Decomposers. Even bacteria are also called what? Decomposers. So they are called what? Saprophytic what? Organisms. Okay, so that is not in line with the question. The question says the type of nutrition in which two organisms of different species live together and derive. They are deriving what? Nutrients from each other. So we have C, symbiotic relationship. What is symbiotic relationship? Symbiotic relationship is a long-term word. Okay, it talks about two different species coming together. Now in symbiotic relationship, we have the mutualism, we have the commensalism. Okay, so the mutualism is when two organisms of what that two organisms operate, and one, they both benefit from each other. Rather, they benefit from each other. That's both of them benefits from each other. Then the commensalism is where one benefits and the other do not benefit, or is neither what? Harmed. Do you understand it now? I repeat, mutualism is where both of the organisms benefit from each other, whereas commensalism, let me write down, commensalism, okay, in this relationship, where it is where one benefits and the other one benefits, or what? Is neither what? Harmed. Okay, so take note. Okay, so symbiotic relationship is a relationship in which what? Two organisms of different species live together and what? Derive nutrients from each other. Do you understand? We have different kinds of relationship like that. Like we have there's under symbiotic. Okay, we have the cattle egrets. Okay, the egret and the cattle or cow, egrets, okay, and cow. Okay, we have humans and enteric bacteria. What are enteric bacteria? Let me use the duster. Excuse me. Here's the duster. Okay, so let me write down here. Now we have the cattle egret and cow. You might you're wondering what's a cattle egret. I don't know if you've seen one white bird like that flies around a cow or a cattle. You understand? So those white birds are called what? Cattle egrets. They are called the egrets. You know, sorry, in our local language we call it chekeleke, right? I remember a song in the Mali sing like chekeleke, give me one better finger, chekeleke, it is something like that. So it is not called chekeleke, take note, it is called what? Cattle egrets. Okay, so we have humans as well. We have the relationship of humans and what? Enteric bacteria. So we have enteric bacteria. Oh, okay. This is quite the relationship between humans and what? Enteric bacteria. So humans and what? Enteric bacteria. Enteric bacteria. Now these bacteria, they are found in the guts of humans. Okay, so what they do is this: they just help to what? Break down what? Food particles in what? In humans. So humans and what? Enteric bacteria. Now all of these are symbiotic relationship. You understand? So like I said, in symbiotic relationship we have the commensalism, we have the mutualism, we have predation and others. You understand? So back to our options. The type of nutrition in which two organisms of different species live together and derive nutrients from each other is what? The answer is what? Symbiotic. Now let me explain for the holophytic as well. So for this holophytic, if you look too well, you see the word there, phytic. It's talking about plant-like, okay? Plant. That's photosynthetic, from the word photosynthetic. So plant-like. So if you don't call it autotrophic what? Nutrition, you can call it what? Holophytic what? Nutrition. So see it here. Autotrophic, okay? So don't let these words deceive you, okay? Holozoic is talking about what? Plant-like, that's heterotrophic nutrition. Holophytic is talking about plant-like, that is what? Autotrophic what? Nutrition. Saprophytic is talking about what? Decomposers, okay? They break down, to decompose, to break down, okay? Now symbiotic is talking about the type of nutrition in which two organisms of different species live together and derive nutrients from each other, okay? So our answer there is what? The symbiotic what? Relationship, okay? So the next question, let me clean for a better understanding. It says competition among individuals of a population increases the dash A, the enlargement of the territory, B, number of organisms, C, availability of nutrients supplied, D, the survival of the fittest. Now when there is competition, you know, even amongst us as humans, when there is competition, what actually happens amongst the population? Is there an enlargement of the territory? Is there increase in number of organisms? Availability of nutrients supplied? C, the survival of the fittest. So what actually happens when there is competition? So what happens when there is competition is what? There is what? The survival of the fittest. So it also happens what? Amongst humans too. It happens amongst us as well in our different businesses, in a different scope of life or area of life. You understand? So the answer here is what? The survival of the fittest. Only those that survive or that are fit survive, okay? That is the answer here. So number 3 says, which of the reproductive system in mammals secretes a part of the seminal fluid which raises the pH of the fluid in the female reproductive system? Now what this question is saying is that the seminal fluid secreted, okay, from the male reproductive organ that raises the pH of the fluid in the female reproductive organ. Now normally the vagina of the woman is acidic in nature. So amongst this gland here, which of them secretes a seminal fluid that helps to raise the pH of the female reproductive system. A, we have the Cowper's gland. B, we have the prostate gland. C, we have the vas deferens. C, D, we have the seminal vesicle. Now let me analyze these options one after the other. Now the Cowper's gland, take note, all these options here are gland found what in the male reproductive what system. Now the Cowper's gland, what does it do? The Cowper's gland otherwise can be called what? The bulbourethra. Okay, the bulbourethra gland. Please take note. Now what it does, that's the Cowper's gland. Okay, so what it does is to what? Lubricate and what? Neutralize the acidic urine in the male what? Urethra. Take note. So it does what? It lubricates and what? Neutralizes an acid urine in the male urethra. Okay, so this is what it does. Okay, now the next option says the prostate gland. What does the prostate gland do, or does rather? Now the prostate gland secretes a fluid, and that fluid is what? Alkaline in nature. Okay, so what does an alkaline or a base substance does? It helps to what? Neutralize what? The acidic what level of substance in the female what? Reproductive organ, system per se. So what this prostate gland does to what? It produces an alkaline what? Fluid that helps now to balance. Okay, so by so doing, it's now raising the effect of the what? The pH gland of the female what? Reproductive organ. So we have for prostate. Now see the vas deferens. What does the vas deferens do, or does the vas deferens? Now it's what? It stores, it transports what? Sperm. Okay, it transports sperm through the epididymis to the urethra. Okay, so this is what the vas deferens does. It transports sperm majorly, then through what? The epididymis to the what? Urethra of the what? Male reproductive what? Organ. Then the next part is what? D, we have the seminal vesicle. The seminal vesicle. Please, I know you might be triggered to pick this as the option because it's in line with the word seminal fluid. Please take note. What the seminal vesicle does is what? It produces or it secretes a fructose rich what? Fluid. Okay, that nourishes what? The sperm. The sperm. Okay, please take note. So this is what the seminal vesicle does. It secretes a fructose what? Rich fluid that what? Nourishes the sperm. Okay, so from these options, I said the prostate gland is what? It secretes an alkaline fluid. Okay, that alkaline fluid now helps to what? Balance the pH, the acidic level of what? The acidic level in the female reproductive organ. So from the option here, the reproductive organ, the reproductive system in mammals that secretes the seminal fluid, which raises the pH of the fluid in the female reproductive system, is called what? The prostate gland. Okay, now the other question says the study of an individual organism or a single species of an organism and its environment is termed what? Let me please permit to you. Individual organism or a single species of an organism and its environment is termed what? Now this question is a question from ecology. Okay, we have two forms of ecology. We have the earth ecology and what? The synecology. Now take note. Earth ecology and what the sign or ecology. Okay, so the answer here is what? Art ecology. That's the study of an individual organism, okay, of a single species of an organism and its environment, okay. Whereas the sign is what? The study of what? Two or more species, okay. So that's the opposite. This is single. This is two or more, okay. So that is it, okay. According to study of what? The single, that's the study of an individual organism, or a single species of an organism and its environment. For instance, you studying what? A particular fish in its environment. That's an aquatic habitat, okay. Now let's proceed then to the next question. Question 5 says, which of the following pairs of scientists discovered the rhesus factor in human blood? A. Hooke and Darwin. B. Hooke and Lavin. C. Darwin and Landsteiner. D. Landsteiner and Werner. Now, yes, these scientists actually contributed in science per se. So I know you'll be moved to pick out maybe Hooke and Darwin because they are common. You know, these are the common scientists we know too in biology or in science as a whole. So which of these scientists here, pair of scientists, discovered the rhesus factor? Now, what's the rhesus factor? This rhesus factor is an antigen found on the red blood cell, okay. Now, what's an antigen? An antigen induces what? Immune responses. That's the production of antibodies, okay. Now, this rhesus factor was discovered from a rhesus monkey, and that's where the name was gotten from. The name got rhesus was gotten from. That's the rhesus factor, okay, from a rhesus monkey, where an experiment was done to obtain blood from the rhesus monkey, okay. So now the scientists that were that got involved in this art, that was in 1940, was Carl Landsteiner and what? Alexander Weiner. So from the option here, we have Landsteiner and Weiner. So these are the scientists that contributed in what? In discovering of the rhesus factor, okay, in human blood. So this is the answer. Landsteiner and Weiner, okay. X Weiner, that's Carl. Landsteiner, Carl. In case you see the word Carl, is K-A-R-L, okay. Carl Landsteiner and Weiner, okay. So the next question says, animals are said to be gregarious if what? Now the term gregarious means what? They live, they move in what? And feed in what? In groups, okay. Examples include lion, elephant, we have wolves, we have zebra, we have ants, we have termites, okay. We have bees as well. So they move in groups and what? Live and feed, okay, in groups. So they are termed what? Gregarious if they what? Move. So if they move, live, and feed in groups, okay. So animals are termed to be gregarious if they would move, live, and feed in groups. So the next question says, albinism is an expression of a trait controlled by what? A. Is it a dominant gene? B. A chromosome? C. Mutation? D. Recessive gene? Which of these options analyzes or gives the best answer to the question? So from these dominant genes, okay, these are genes that are fully expressed, okay. They are fully expressed. That's dominant, to dominate. They are fully expressed. Let me say, for instance, in a family where your dad is tall and your mom is let's say average in height, okay, and out of the 4 children, 3 persons are actually tall, okay, and the other one is maybe average or so. So the dominant gene is there is what? The gene for what? Tallness, okay. That is the dominant gene. Now, someone can be said to be recessive. For instance, if your mother is fair and your father is fair, and amongst the 4 children giving birth to, 3 of them are actually fair and the other one is dark. Now what it means is that one that is dark is recessive. That's to say that it took what? 2 of these genes, one from the father and one from the mother. That's to say he or she is having for instance, let me say the child is dark, okay. So that child is having the gene for fairness and also the gene for darkness in him. But the one that is actually dominant, the one that is fully expressed, is that dark color, maybe from the mother. So that child is termed what? Recessive, having the recessive gene for what? Dullness, okay, and can be said to be what? A carrier as well. You understand? So let's proceed there. Now, the chromosomes, genes are found on the chromosomes. Okay, so that's to say chromosomes carry genes. Let me say, for instance, what do I use now to make this example? Okay, so just note that what genes are found on the chromosomes. Okay, genes are found. They are found on the chromosomes. Okay, so that does not really express albinism as a trait. So we have mutation. What is mutation? Mutation simply means what? A change in the DNA sequence. Okay, which is what? Which can also cause what? A genetic disorder. Okay, it can cause a genetic disorder. That's an example of it is what? Albinism. So, but the question said albinism is expressed, an expression of a trait called what? Caused by what or controlled by what? Now, what is albinism itself? Albinism what is a process or a situation whereby there is a reduction or an absence of a melanin pigment. A melanin pigment. Okay, melanin pigment coloration. Okay, in the skin, the eye, or what hair of an individual. Okay, that is why. Sorry, let me use pidgin. They say they get albino. We say the thing affects their eyes very well. We get one just for skin, and also that's what it means. Okay, so the melanin what pigment means coloration. So melanin is responsible for the colors we have on our skin. Is either you're fair, you're dark, or what light skin. You understand? So that is as a result of what the the concentration of the melanin in us. Okay, that is fully expressed. Okay, so from this option here, the recessive gene is an expression, or albinism is an expression of a trait controlled by what? A recessive gene, whereby that person, that child, receives two copies of genes, one from the father and one from the mother, and those genes are actually called what? Defective what? Genes. Okay, do you understand? So let's proceed there. Number 8 says the insect trapping movement of the leaves of the Venus flytrap plant, yes, is a behavioral adaptation for what? Now, this Venus flytrap is a parasitic plant. Okay, it has some sensitive hairs on it, whereby if an insect flies past it or touches it, it opens up and what? Traps the plant or the insect and what? Obtain nutrients for it. So the question said the insect trapping movement of the leaves of the Venus trap plant is a behavioral what? Adaptation for doing what? Obtaining what? Nutrients. Okay, so it does that to what? Obtain nutrients. Okay, so the last question says the cells, also called the gametes, are produced in the testes by a process called. Please, before you answer the question, you try to understand the question. Say the male sex cells. See the question here. The male sex cells, also called gametes, okay, are produced in the testes by a process called. Now, if you analyze this question too, it's talking about the male sex cell, okay, also called what? The gamete. Now, what is this gamete? These gametes are called what? They are called sex cells. Okay, so now they're being just trying to make you understand the question. So now gametes itself are what? They are sex cells. Okay, now this sex cell includes what? The sperm for the male, and what? The ova or egg, okay, for the female. Now if you read the question where it says what? The male sex cell, also called gametes, are produced in the testes. Now this point here is a part, okay, of the male reproductive system. Okay, the testes is what? A part of the what? Male reproductive system. Now the male sex cells, also called the gametes, are produced in the testes by a process called implantation. I've explained implantation in my other video. It simply means what? The attachment of the embryo what? To the wall of the uterus. Okay, that is what implantation means. Now gametogenesis, let me analyze this word. Gametogenesis. Okay, we have gametogenesis, we have spermatozoa, spermatozoa, and we have spermatogenesis. Spermatogenesis. Now, if we were to analyze this word, what this one means now, gametogenesis simply means what? The production of what? Gametes, whether male or female, okay? So in this case, we have the male or female sex cell being produced, okay? Now, spermatozoa simply means what? A matured what? Sperm cell, okay? A matured sperm, okay? Now, spermatogenesis is talking about what? The production of sperm, the process, okay, of making or synthesizing sperm cells. So this one is just only for male sperm that's attached to male alone. Why the gametogenesis is talking about both male and female sex cell? So from this question now, look at it. It said the male sex cell. So it is particulate or particular to what? The male sex cell, okay, also called gametes. So this is a general word for it, the word gametes, whether male or female sex cell, you understand? But it's not the male sex cell here. So from this option, from what I've explained so far, which of the option best describes this? Okay, so the answer is what? Spermatogenesis. So our answer here is what? Spermatogenesis. Let me just leave one question for you to try and give your answer in the comment section. The basis of growth involves the following processes except A. Cell division, B. Cell differentiation, C. Cell reduction, D. Cell enlargement. So which of them here does not support the basis of growth? Okay, A. Cell division, B. Cell differentiation, C. Cell reduction, D. Cell enlargement. So please drop the answer in the comment section, and please, if you found value in this video, please do well to subscribe and also share, okay? Tell people about what is happening in this channel. Thank you for your support. Thank you, and bye for now.